Let's review my year for career and business and development, okay? So I actually run two businesses and I have a full-time job, and I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. This year I set a ton of goals for myself, mainly for my businesses, and I was heavy-handed with the goals this year. And as I said in my previous videos, sometimes you gotta make an assessment of like, is this really still important to you? And so halfway through the year, I actually did that. So you'll see this as we go through this review. But as a reminder, this is the third installment, third installment of a video series. The day after Christmas, I posted how to review your year. Feel free to check that video out if you haven't already. And then yesterday, I posted a video reviewing my year in finance and health. I actually plan my goals for the year, plan and track my goals for the year across 6 categories: finance, health, career/business, development, lifestyle, and relationships. And so yesterday I posted the review of my finance and health goals, and today I am reviewing my career, business goals, and development goals. And tomorrow I will post a video reviewing my lifestyle and relationship goals. And on Saturday, I'll post a how to plan your year updated for 2024. But I did post a how to plan your year video back in the beginning of 2023. It's super popular. It's like my 3rd most popular video on my channel. So you can check that out in the meantime, but I will be posting an update to that at the end of this week. Okay, let's get into it. All right, as usual, before I do anything, let me introduce myself. My name is Libria Jones. I am what I like to call a life-work balance advocate. I switched the equation up because the living part comes first, and so I share a lot of resources and information about how you can design a life you love and build work into that life. And so I share a lot about traveling, working remotely, and here lately I've been sharing some productivity tips as well, because it's the end of the year. I love productivity and planning, and next year I will be posting a lot more on productivity. So look forward to that. So let's talk about my goals for the year as it relates to career/business and development. Let me tell you what my career goals were. Y'all, I'm laughing at myself because I went ham. Do we still say that? We don't still say that anymore. I went crazy. I went crazy with these goals, okay? 1, make at least $50,000 in bonuses at my day job. So my full-time job, I get quarterly bonuses. So I get a bonus every quarter. And so my goal this year was to make $50,000. I think the year before I made $40,000 in bonuses, and this year I wanted to make 50. So that was my goal. Get funding for Getty. Getty is a software solution that I wanted to design and get off the ground to streamline the hiring process. So it basically was going to automate every one of the stage gates in the hiring process. Get invited on 3 sponsored trips. Update my websites, relaunch my course, create an affiliate marketing program, launch a live workshop tour. I wanted to do my course, part of my course, live in a bunch of different cities with people. I thought that would be so fun. Launch quarterly coaching. So I do one-on-one coaching. I used to do it maybe once or twice a year, but people ask for one-on-one coaching a lot. So I end up launching it I end up saying I wanted to launch it quarterly this year. Expand quick commuting services to include resume and LinkedIn writing. Post 4 videos on YouTube per month. Make $5,000 a month in brand partnerships. Write blog posts and increase page views. And make $15,000 in affiliate marketing. So those were my career and business goals. I got really ambitious. I got really ambitious as it related to my businesses for the most part. I only had one goal for my day job. And then my development goals, and development is really around expanding your education and things like that. So someone could say, I want to get a certification this year, or I want to learn more about the specific topic. I am a person that is always trying to develop new skills and learn new things. And I end up teaching myself a lot of stuff, just, YouTube University, or trying things out. And so this year I only put 2 things for this. Learn how to do makeup. Really wanted to learn how to do makeup really well. And learn about getting published because I want to write a book. It's been a lifelong goal of mine. I have this journal from my freshman year in college where we were supposed to write 100 things about ourselves by the end of our lives. And one of those things that I wrote is that I was a published author, that I was an author, that I wrote a book. And so I've been wanting to do this since I was, a kid. I've always loved literature. I've always loved storytelling. I won awards for my writing in high school. And so I'm really, I was like, yeah, let's learn about getting published. I want to write a book. It's about time I get to this. All right, so those were my goals. In the previous video, in yesterday's video, I talked about all the data that I gathered around this. I'm not gonna do that in this video because this is a lot. This video would be an hour and a half long if I go through all of those things for each of these steps, but just know some of these are truly like a check the box, and a lot of these are really just looking at revenue reports, looking at who I pitched for brand partnerships, for sponsored trips and stuff like that, right? And who came to me. So I'm gonna dive right into what goals did I hit or miss in my career and business. I'm gonna start with making 50,000 in bonuses. Check, your girl got the money. I actually made $50,825. I looked at my last pay stub and it has the year to date. And so year to date, I made $50,825 in bonuses. Get funding for Getty. I didn't specify an amount. I just wanted to put the idea out there and see if I could get money for it. I got invited to a pitch competition in Tulsa with Build in Tulsa, which is an organization that helps minority-owned business owners build and grow their business, or even if you have an idea, you don't have to have an established business. And I think every 2 or 3 months or so, they do a pitch competition specifically for minority women. And I got invited to it back in June and did a pitch competition and won second place. So I got $5,000 for Getty. So I'm checking the box on that. Very proud of that. Super excited about having put the idea out there in the world and gotten some money back for it. I will tell you that I got a little bit discouraged after I won the pitch competition. I was definitely on a high and like ready to figure out, how do I make this thing happen? All these AI tools came out. I've actually hosted a few sessions teaching people how to use AI tools to boost their job search. And I started to see the big guys like LinkedIn and Indeed come out with similar things to what my ideas were. And so I got a little bit discouraged. So I'm not sure if it's something that I want to continue with. And I'm going to say this as encouragement to you and encouragement to me, even if I decide to pivot. Just because the big guys are doing it already doesn't mean you can't do it better or differently, right? So don't let that be the thing that stops you. That was for me and for you. Don't let that be the thing that stops you. Think about A, do I need to pivot? And B, what are some of the things that they still aren't solving for, right? Because just because they're the big guys, just because they're the Fortune 500 or Fortune 50 or Fortune 10 companies that can throw so much money at this, what a lot of times they don't have is that one degree of separation from the people that they are solving issues for, right? There's so many layers of bureaucracy that they're not always solving the biggest problems that their end users have because they're so far removed from them in a lot of cases. And then two, a lot of times they can't pivot as quickly as you can. So think about what they aren't solving for. That was encouragement for myself, but feel free to take that. Get invited on 3 sponsored trips. Y'all, I did that. I went on 3 sponsored trips. I had Marriott's marketing company reach out to me out of nowhere. Guys, this was out of nowhere. They hit me up and was like, could you send me your demographics and just a couple of some information about your audience and things like that and your stats, because we're thinking about inviting you on a trip or inviting you on a marketing campaign for one of Marriott's hotel brands. Now, I have done work with Marriott before. I wrote an article for them back in the day about planning a weekend in Atlanta with your family. And so I was super excited about this. They end up selecting me. They flew me out to Virginia Beach. I was supposed to go to Daytona Beach, but some things happened. But they flew me out to Virginia Beach for a weekend, paid for my stay, paid for some activities. And then they also paid me to go out there and do 2 reels and a couple of sets of stories. And so that was one sponsored trip. Then Tulsa Remote paid for me to come out to Tulsa to speak at a series of events over the week. And then I got flued out to Nomadness to speak at the Nomadness Festival. And also I got flued out to Egypt by Nomadness to help facilitate a trip with the Nomadness Travel Tribe. So it wasn't like necessarily the sponsored trips that I was thinking about. I was thinking about getting 3 of that like Delta Hotels style trips where a brand is hitting me up and saying, hey, we want you to go do content. But, you know, getting sponsored to come and speak and hang out and facilitate trips and stuff like that also counts. I'm gonna make it count. So I went on 4 sponsored trips this year. I got on planes and I have to pay for it. It's sponsored. Update my websites. Check. I actually did this early in the year. I updated LibriaJones.com and I also updated QuitCommuting.com. Shout out to my web developer, Monica. Rocks Your Socks, I think is her website. I'll put her information in the description box if you ever want to reach out and hire her. I think she's amazing. She's got great customer service and she's really great at setting up systems. She made this whole process super easy. But yeah, I updated my websites. I think I updated my websites in like Q1 of this year. That was something I knocked out pretty early. Create an affiliate marketing program. If you don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's basically incentivizing someone else to sell your products. And so a lot of times you see people on YouTube talking about this product that they love, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll give you the link to it. They get an affiliate credit for that. Well, that works also for course creators. For instance, I typically will bring Hannah Dixon on to talk about the course that she has on helping people become freelancers, or my friend Jill Davidian to share about how people can move into instructional design, or my friend Jennifer Gaddis to tell people how they can become quality assurance testers. And they each have a course. Well, when I refer people to them, if people sign up for their course, I get affiliate credit for it. And so I wanted to do the same thing for Quit Commuting. I have a lot of people in my network who are travelers, travel influencers, have travel communities, and people who talk about how you can move abroad. And so a lot of folks want to figure out how they can get a remote job to support that. And so it makes sense for me to give them affiliate credit to provide my information in my course to them. So I wanted to create an affiliate marketing program, and I checked the box. I did it. I actually created it, but there's some more work that I need to do on it. Like I need to make the assets that my affiliates can use to sell the course, write copy for them to make it easy for them to sell the course, and then just kind of check in with them on a regular basis and give them their reporting and things like that. So I need to create an affiliate marketing support program now, and then make it easy for people to sign up for my affiliate program also. Launch a live workshop tour. Didn't do that. I actually at mid-year dropped this from my goals. I decided that if I hadn't already done it in the summer, I wasn't gonna do it. The gap assessment on that is just that I ran out of time. I ran out of time to plan this. This is something that has to be planned well in advance. And also, there's so many moving parts with this, right? So this is something that has to be planned well in advance, and there's so many moving parts with it that I just really need to make sure I give myself enough time to plan this out. And the way that I want to do this and the value that I want to provide to people, it's going to take time. And I feel like I was about to rush into just being like, oh, let me just do it. And I couldn't do that. And with all the other things I had going on, it just didn't make sense. So mid-year in June, when I did my mid-year review, I actually removed this from my goals list. So I don't know if I'll call it a miss since it's no longer on my goals list. Launch quarterly coaching. I actually did that and it's been great. This year I've done a lot more one-to-one coaching, and while it is labor intensive, I really love talking to people one-on-one. And so I think I'm actually gonna do more of it next year. And even more than that, I think I'm gonna start adding additional coaches so that we can spread the love even more. So check the box on that, launching quarterly coaching. Expand services to resume and LinkedIn writing. Didn't do that. Just didn't. There's no gap assessment. I just didn't do it. I didn't have time for all this. I definitely overshot on my goals for career and business this year. Definitely overshot. Post 4 videos on YouTube per month at least. I didn't do this. And if I had to do a gap assessment here, this is not a time issue. It's not that I didn't have time. It's that I got caught up in a few things. One, I didn't set up systems to easily make sure that I could consistently create content for YouTube. I didn't do that. And I know how to do that. I know how to do that. I'm a planner. I know how to do that. And the second thing is I got really caught up in the idea of needing to have the right camera, needing to be camera ready, needing to be in a space that looks good enough to be on camera. And I mean, at the end of the day, those things are nice to have, but they are not required in order to get good content out. The point of this is to get good content. The whole reason why I started doing this and sharing videos is to help people design their life and their work in a way that benefits them and makes their life enjoyable. Not so that they can see how pretty I look with my new makeup skills, right? And lighting does not preclude my ability to share that kind of information. And so I'll be honest, my gap assessment on that is I got caught up in things that really don't matter at the end of the day. Now, there was one day I had a whole conversation with myself and I was, girl, if you don't prop this phone up and put on a hat and record a video, and that video did pretty well. It's one of my top 10 videos. So I was tripping. That's the gap assessment on that. Your girl was tripping. Make $5,000 a month in brand partnerships. Okay. That's a lot of money, actually, brand partnerships. That's a lot of money. So in my mind, I was going to do a lot of pitching this year, a lot of pitching to brands this year. I did not do that. I did a little bit of pitching, but I didn't really lean into it like I could have or should have, or take advantage of networking opportunities with other influencers and with brands. And I'm also thinking I probably just need to get an agent. But the gap assessment there is that I just didn't lean into the pitching and networking as I could and should have. And I didn't apply for things either. So there are websites where you can go and apply for brand partnerships, and it's like applying for jobs. It's just so tedious. Like, who wants to do this? And a lot of times when you're applying for these brand partnerships, they're asking you to give them ideas about how you would execute on the campaign. And it's just frustrating to come up with these ideas and share them and then not get selected. It's very, very demoralizing. And so I think I was just a victim of that. But so I think I set a goal for $72,000. I actually made $30,000 or $40,000 in brand partnerships this year. $30,000 or $40,000. And that was no pitching. Like, none, honestly, every dollar I made in brand partnerships this year was something that came to me out of nowhere. I didn't pitch for it, I didn't ask for it. They came to me. So more of that in 2024, please. The next one is write blog posts and increase page views. It's so generic. Write blog posts and increase page views. Like, this is not a good goal, guys. This is not an example of a good goal. Goals should be specific. It is specific. Write blog posts. It should also be measurable. There's no number, right? How many blog posts, girl? Increase page views to what? By what? Like, this is not a good goal. Who let me do this? It's so generic. I wrote a few blog posts and I did increase my page views. So technically I met this goal. But if I'm honest, my goal was to actually post at least 2 to 4 blog posts a month and try to get my page views up to somewhere around 5,000 because I think my page views per month are around 2,000. So I want to get it to 5,000. The goal is to get it to 10 at some point because I want to be able to get ad revenue from Mediavine. But I ain't putting none of that on here. So I'm gonna say I met the goal, but I'm gonna say I failed at setting an actual goal. A real goal. Like, what is this? Make $15,000 in affiliate marketing. And by this, I mean exactly what I said earlier, you know, sharing courses and getting credit for that, but also affiliate marketing with things like when I shared a video on Instagram about my laptop setup and people went and bought it. When I shared a video about the things I travel with as an asthmatic and people bought that, I got credit for it. So my goal was to make $15,000 in affiliate marketing. I made close to half of that. So I made about $5,300 in affiliate marketing this year. So nothing crazy. So I did not hit the goal there. The gap assessment on that is one of my most lucrative affiliate marketing relationships. I don't think she's doing affiliate marketing anymore. I actually have a note to email her today to ask if she stopped doing her affiliate marketing, because the last course run she did, I have my stats show that I had a lot of people go to her course. And I generated a whole lot of leads for her, but that didn't translate into any conversions for me, which is not normal. Normally I convert at least 10 people, 5 to 10 people every time she does this. And so I wonder if she's no longer doing the affiliate program. I'm not sure, but that would have been another 5,000. So I would have been probably closer to 10,000, a little bit over 10,000 if I had gotten those. All right, that was it for the career and business goals and the gap assessment. But if I had to say any accomplishments that I made that were not on my list for a career and business, I actually can't think of any, because clearly I made every goal possible to make. Oh, actually, I do have one thing that I'm excited about. I just recently hired my daughter. I recently hired my daughter because I looked at how much money I've been giving her every month just to help her out. And it's damn near a salary, basically. So, or pretty much what she's making at her job for the most part. So I was like, why don't we just do this? Why don't you just come work for me so that all this money I'm giving you, I can get something back for it. So I feel like that's an accomplishment. One, I am relieving some stress on her to be beholden to a job that has to decide whether or not they're going to put her on the schedule. That's one of my biggest frustrations for her. Sometimes they put her on the schedule, sometimes they don't. And so I end up having to help cover for her. Two, I think it's going to be really great to, one, I really could use the help. Part of why I haven't posted a lot of YouTube videos is the editing process is exhausting and it's time consuming, and it's just a lot. And so I could really use the help. And then three, I think this is an opportunity for her to learn a lot of skills that she would not otherwise learn in the places that she's been working, because she's been working kind of like in the food service industry. And so I just think it's time for her to learn some business skills. And so I'm gonna call that an accomplishment. I'm gonna call that an accomplishment that was not on my goals list. And I hope that I can keep her on payroll all year. Y'all make sure y'all like these videos, okay? Make sure y'all like these videos and watch them so I can keep the girl on payroll, all right? If I had to say something I learned about myself from a business perspective or a career perspective, it's that I be trying to do too much. I mean, I just do. And it's not a learning, it's a realization or an admittance. And yeah, I want to do so many things, and I don't mean do too much like I don't know how to ask for help. That's not it. My problem with asking for help is that I want to compensate people for helping me. I don't often want people to volunteer. I want to compensate them. I respect people's time and their experience. And so a lot of times I just can't afford the help. That's what that boils down to. But when I say I want to do too much, it's like this goals list. Like I want to accomplish all the things. And I have a lot of different passions and interests, and I always want to do things in all of those categories. And so it's really about trying to kind of focus my energy on certain things. So that's my realization. Let's move into the development goals. And that one's gonna be quick because I just had two. One is learn how to do my makeup, which I did. I took a makeup course with Kenya Haney. She was amazing, and I wanna do another one. So we did a day-to-day. We did like a everyday makeup class. I want to do a glam session with her next, but highly recommend. Actually, a couple of my friends signed up for her class. And then the last one was learn about getting published. So I actually joined my friend Tiffany Aliche, Tiffany the Budgetnista, has a private coaching community. And in her community, she was sharing her pitch notes and her process for how she got her book published. If you did not know, she published a book called Get Good with Money, which is an amazing book. If you have not picked it up, I will drop a link to it below as well. And she just recently published a second book that's called Made Whole. And I'm just so excited for her. She's an amazing person. She's smart, she's generous with her information, but also she's just so dedicated to the work and so very consistent. So I love her because she's generous, but I admire her because she's so consistent. Like the girl is a consistency beast. She's out here killing it. And what she's been able to accomplish over the last several years is just pretty freaking incredible. And I'm so happy that I know her. That was kind of off topic, but there's no gap assessment because I did all of these. But if I had to say what I learned about myself from a development standpoint, it's that I tend to focus on learning just a little bit about a lot of things, right? Like I don't necessarily go deep into stuff. I am really big on, I realize that my personality is that I want to know just enough about a whole lot of things. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know what it is, but that is something that I realized about myself. There are things that I love to go deep into that have nothing to do with business. Like one thing I love to dive deep into is how our brains work. So human behavior and psychology is something that I like to go deep on. Project management, something I like to go deep on. That one at least attaches to my career and business and stuff like that. So productivity is one thing that I am a person who loves to go deep on, but everything else I just kind of like to know just a little bit about a whole lot of things, which for me feels pretty cool because I always feel like I have options. Someone asked me, they were looking for a remote job and was having trouble finding it, and they were like, Libria, would you ever just give up looking for a remote job and just go into the office? And I was like, no, never. Because I believe I've amassed a set of skills over the years that I can always make money doing something, right? I've taught myself how to do so many things at this point that I can always find a way to make money. And so I think it's a good thing. All right, so that is my review for career and development. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was insightful. I hope that you start to apply this kind of stuff in your life as well in 2024. And I'm gonna always say, take what you need. Like you don't have to do everything that I'm doing. And definitely don't make ridiculous goals lists like I did this year. I'm gonna dial it back next year. I'm going to dial it back next year. But anyway, I will post a video tomorrow reviewing my lifestyle and relationship goals. And then the day after tomorrow, it will be a video on how to plan your year, updated for 2024. Do me a favor. If this was at all enjoyable or insightful or helpful, hit a like. Hit the like button, friend. What that does is it lets the algorithm know that this was beneficial, and so more people will get the chance to see it. And then go ahead and subscribe and turn on alerts so that you get notified when I post the rest of the series, all right? I will see you in the next video.